Cam, what are you most proud of accomplishing in your career at Notre Dame?
Most proud, becoming a captain at Notre Dame. You know, that's a great honor. It's player voted, and having some of those guys trust me to lead the team and be a spokesman for them, it was a great honor. So, yeah.
What are you hoping to show NFL teams at the Combine this week?
Just solidify the film. I feel like I put everything on film. Showed that I'm fast, showed that I'm quick, and I can do everything. I feel like I'm the most athletic corner in this draft, and just solidify that.
Is there a drill that you're most looking forward to showcase that athleticism?
The 40, of course. I don't think some guys think I'm as fast as I am, so I'm excited to go out there and run.
Cam, you were highly regarded wide receiver coming out of high school. How did that correlate to playing corner, and how was that initiated?
Certainly, I played corner. Well, I played DB my whole life. So since playing football, I played quarterback and safety at 8 years old, and then throughout my whole football career, I played DB, mainly safety, and then in high school, junior year, I switched over to corner. So I kind of had an understanding of the position and what was going on in the back end, and then in college, obviously, I focused on receiver in the front half, and then towards the front half of my freshman year, towards the middle of the season, I switched over. We had some injuries on the back end, and Coach Kelly came to me. Coach Kelly and Coach Lee. Coach Lee was making my recruiting, so they came to me and asked would I like to switch over, and just went from there.
Back when you had a podcast, I remember Kyle Hamilton talking about going through this process, trying to deal with not eating before running and stuff like that. Do you take anything from talking to him kind of as you're going through it?
Certainly, Kyle and I probably talk. We talk every day, but about the combine specifically, probably once a week leading up into it. And then even still, like while I'm down here, he's hitting me up, making sure I'm smooth and giving me tips on the MRI center and all that stuff. So every day, we still talk.
Have you met with Tampa Bay this week?
I have.
Was that a formal or informal?
Informal.
How did that go? What did they talk to you about?
It went well. I mean, just typical meeting, just running through where I come from, where I grew up, the scheme that I played in, and just asking general questions. So it went well.
What did you learn about yourself throughout your time in college? What did you find out or learn about yourself?
I found how to be vulnerable. I had some injuries in college, obviously, and in that the most recent one, I was living by myself, and I had to lean on my teammates more, lean on my coaches more, lean on my family, my girlfriend, and I was never like one to open up in that regard. So it was definitely tough, but I learned how to be vulnerable and how to have important conversations and speak about how I'm feeling about certain things. So it's probably the biggest thing.
You had a chance to talk with the Houston Texans while you're in?
I have.
Was that a formal interview?
Informal.
Did you talk with them at the Senior Bowl too?
I did. I think I had a formal with them at the Senior Bowl, yeah.
How do you feel like all of your experience and games played in college is going to help you kind of pick things up quickly at the NFL level? And is that a point of emphasis of teams that have had interest in you?
Certainly. I feel like Notre Dame prepared as well. And that's a conversation that's ongoing with all the guys that's down here. And even at the Senior Bowl, I feel like we were well prepared. I attribute Mike Mickens and Al Golden a lot, man. Coach Golden came from the NFL, obviously, so he had that experience. And Coach Mickens, he played the position, he understands the position, he's coached great cornerback. So just the knowledge that I gained from those guys is second to none. I'm really appreciative of them.
Cam, I think most people are assuming that Benjamin Morrison's going to be right here next year.
He will be.
What stands out about him, from the perspective of you guys?
BMO, man, he's a little gnat. And that dude was in my back pocket since day one. And he had traits that I didn't have as a freshman, right? He's always trying to get better, right? And I'm not saying that I wasn't trying to get better, but this dude, he's just extremely hungry. Since day one, he's finding ways to get better. He's finding ways to get extra work on the field. He's texting me at all times of the night, trying to watch film and trying to learn certain things about the defense. And he's always just worried about getting better. And I always tell him just to relax a little bit. It's gonna work out. He has the intangibles, but there's no relaxing that dude. So yeah.
And what are you expecting from Jaden Mickey, Christian Drake, and stepping up in your place?
They're good. I mean, that entire corner room is good. Coach Mickens did a really good job instilling the traits into them and leaning on them and making sure they're smooth. I mean, that defense is back. I mean, there's not going to be a drop off next year. If not better.
You had a formal with the Lions this week?
Not this week, no.
Yeah, have you met with the Eagles at all while you were here?
While I was here, no. I met with them a lot at the Senior Bowl. Yeah.
Cam, who are some of the corners that you look to in the league that you kind of emulate or model?
So Coach Mickens, he coached Sauce Gardner, obviously, and him and I have similar stature. So I watched a lot of his game in college because we played a similar defense. I watched Richard Sherman growing up. I mean, he was always a guy that I watched his game. And then Pastor Tane, I feel like he can do everything. He's a technician. And being 6'2", I mean, he can do everything. So I try to watch his game and steal from his toolbox.
If there's one game that I had to look to in your college career that kind of shows what you're all about, what game would that be?
In my college career, it's hard to sum that up into one game. I would say watch USC this year, Wisconsin, and you can watch the Cincinnati game 2 years ago. I mean, there's a lot of games you can watch. But this year, USC, Ohio State, and Duke, those are the games.
Was there a moment in your college career where you were like, the NFL is going to be a future for me? Like a play, a moment, anything that resonates?
Not really in college. I mean, once I got to college and I understood what I wanted to do in my life, I mean, that was always the plan. That's something that I realized early on in my life. There wasn't a specific moment in college that I'm like, okay, this is going to lead to the NFL. It was just a matter of time at that point.
Cam, with the USC game, what were the challenges of prepping for Caleb Williams?
We had a wrinkle. We didn't play a normal defense. Coach Golden put in some kind of freaky defense that's kind of hard to explain. But for me, I've been playing Caleb since high school, so I kind of knew what he brought to the table. Obviously, he's gotten better, and obviously he's a magician out there. So it's definitely a hard week of prep, but I took it as every other game. I take every game the same. I prepare for every game the same. I respect every guy the same. So, yeah.
What was it like going up against him in high school?
In high school, man, he was special. He was young, so I didn't play him in youth football. Obviously, he played in that area, but I didn't play against him in youth football, so I didn't really know until I played him. But he was always special. The things y'all seen on Saturdays in college is things he was doing in high school. So it's a good deal.
Cam, have you met with the Cowboys?
I have.
Formal or informal?
Informal.
What do you like about the franchise? What do you like about the conversation?
The Cowboys, it kind of remind me of Notre Dame. It's like America's team. Gets a lot of hate sometimes, but yeah, I mean, I like the organization. I'll be glad for any team that picks me, honestly. It's a blessing.
Cam, you referenced versatility, inside, outside. Would you say that that's a part of your game that you really want to carry over to the next level?
Certainly. Coach Mickens, again, he did a really good job preparing me to play any position in NFL. I know safety in and out. I know what the linebackers are doing in and out in our defense. And then I especially know boundary, field corner, and then nickel. So I've practiced at nickel all year. I have game film at nickel when we played at Louisville, so I have a great understanding of
what
the
is
inside.
It about the slot that is appetizing for you?
Appetizing, I wouldn't use appetizing. All the cornerback positions are appetizing. But nickel, I mean, it's just different. You're closer to the ball. You're more run fits. You're guarding shiftier receivers, but I mean, it's no different than playing boundary corner, because boundary corner you're in the run fit as well. And nowadays they're putting all types of guys outside, so you never know.
Cam, that Ohio State game, it's legit, like, resume.
Certainly.
Piece. What went through your mind as you're preparing for that game and going through that going against Mark?
Certainly. Obviously, we played them a year before, and like I said earlier, I prepare for every game the same. It doesn't matter if you're the number one receiver in the country or the number 500 receiver in the country, right? So I prepare for it the same as I prepare for every other game. I didn't put too much focus on it. I didn't get too high, didn't get too low, and just went through that week the same as I always do. So I didn't put too much reverence in any guy's hand. I don't care if they were the number one team in the country. I was going to prepare the same. So.
You said success. Did that do anything for your confidence?
No.
I did what I was supposed to do.
I did what I was supposed to do. I mean, I'm self-motivated. I don't get my motivational confidence from anybody. And so, yeah.
Was that the